following is a presentation of Main Street Media, your source for news, sports, and information on Main Street in Middle Tennessee.
Welcome in, everybody. It is our Farmin FriYAY. Justin,
Yes.
how are you doing? It
doing
seems
so
like it's
well.
been a year since I've seen you.
I know, it really does feel like forever. I'm doing well, though. How are you doing? Devin?
I'm fantastic. I said my hair is blown out and straight for about 3 minutes with this weather. Thank you.
Always looks straight, though.
Well, I appreciate that. I'm using my silver shampoo that my friend Rory developed.
Nice.
Yeah. So if you guys want to find out a little bit more about it, you just drop me an email, devinoday@gmail.com. Today is a very special day because it's our Farmin FriYAY. And notice that we got a new sponsor. Our friends at Farm Credit Mid-America are part of what we do. And we're going to be talking about the Homestead Festival, which I got to tell you, I was just talking about it today. I said, if the last 2 years haven't made you want to simplify your life, I don't know what you need to tell you that we need this. And one of the dearest people in my life, even though I don't see him very often, is Rory Feek. I've known him for a long time. And I love everything that he's a part of. And when I found out that he was behind the Homestead Festival, I said, oh, we got to go down and be a part of this because what they're doing in Columbia, just that farm and everything about it. And that whole area down there is pretty much
on the rise.
It's God's
not
country.
that it was coming from the bottom or anything, but yeah, it's starting to, I hear Murray County, that area a lot.
Well, if you want to find out what's going on in Murray County, go to Main Street Murray. That's our newspaper down there. But we are talking farming today. Thank you to Farm Credit Mid-America for joining and partnering with us. I want to talk about a new show that we're going to be launching, and it's called Roosters and Roots. It's coming very soon to our little Main Street network. And I said the Homestead Festival is just going to have everything. So I think I'm going to get everything I need film-wise for the next year at the Homestead Festival.
Love that. And I know that, so one of the stipulations for the show is I have to sound exactly like a rooster. So I'm working on that.
Okay. Well, you can do the sound effects for this. And yes, that is my pig. That is Barney the hero pig. And I'm starting a children's book series about the animals on my farm at Angel Horse Farm. And somebody else has started a children's book series, Mr. Rory Feek. He does everything, and everything he does has God all around it.
Awesome.
And I'm so thrilled to share him coming up in just a few minutes. Before that, we're going to take a look at a friend of mine who literally built his fortune. He started from the ground up, shoveling manure in a horse barn. His name is Ricky Cook. Horses and music are what he's all about. And we're going to have him on pretty soon with his new music. I was
about to say, he's got to be on this show then.
He has got to be on this show. I want you to meet Ricky Cook. He is country as cornbread, comes from East Tennessee, the same place. He grew up the same place where Loretta Lynn grew up. And you can hear it in his voice. And my gosh, what stories he can tell.
Jacked up Ford. Keep my beer on ice and a cooler on the floor.
yes, it's traditional country music. And we went back to the older sound, but the songs are about life. They're about real life.
You can have your flip-flops and all the sand on the beach. Just give me a guitar, a mason jar, and a campfire by the creek. When the sun goes down out away from town, that's when we feel that that's just.
I've heard a lot of people try to sing traditional country music. Ricky Cook is the real deal.
I want to share my story, share my music, share my life.
Just wanted you to know that working with Ricky Cook has been a great experience for me. He writes songs from his heart, sings them from his soul, and it's been a great pleasure for me to be a part of it.
He said, I've got a friend that would probably be really interested in this project. And so it turned out he was, and it turns out that was J.P. Pennington with Exile. Now, that kind of brought on a different level of perfection. You know, we started writing together.
Thanks a lot, Loretta. You deserve the great.
I told JP, I said, you know, I'd kind of like to write something, you know, where Loretta's concerned, and it was just so I wanted to write kind of, you know, thank you, I love you, you're great. That turned out to be a little too gushy, and it kind of took another way, you know, as we kind of started getting into it, and so now it's kind of tongue-in-cheek, and thanks a lot, Loretta, you kind of put all the guys in their spot, and maybe where they ought to be, but not wanting to be.
So, what have you taken from horse training into the music career that you're starting?
A lot of dedication and hard work.
He's amazing. He would get on a horse and outshow anyone in the ring, and I think that's what Ricky does on stage. He's a true showman all the time.
There was two things I liked, music and horses. I had a little talk with myself. I was just reflecting on life and thinking about where I was, where I wanted to be, and what had I not done. What are you going to sit there and regret that you didn't do? And that would have been music. And I said, you know what, I don't want to live with regrets. And I'm not going to. And that's why I'm doing this.
Back underneath the Kissa tree, that's where I know them meant to be. Hanging with my country peeps. I'm proud of my country draw, my awesome farmer tan. Yeah, some might think I'm backwards, and the truth is I probably am.
I'm so excited to share Ricky's music with you coming up in a few weeks. Got a lot of new music hitting in the next few weeks. But the big story on Farmin FriYAY. FriYAY. I know. When there's muddy temperatures and you got lots and lots of rain, mud happens on a farm, but it doesn't make me love it any less. My friend Tammy Arender from RFD Television said it's kind of like the perfume we all love. I'm going to come to my friend. He's actually on the phone right now. I'm going to see if he's around. Rory Feek. He is the man about town. How are you, Rory?
I am so glad to see your face.
I love you so much.
I'm doing fine. I haven't seen you in a long time, though.
I know. I haven't seen you either. Last time I saw you, it was backstage at the Grand Ole Opry. And you were there, and your sweet baby girl was there with you. And she's grown. She's like, how old is she now? 6?
She's 8.
Oh, my
She's
Lord.
8 years old. Yeah.
I mean, we've lost 2 years. I mean, that's right. I mean,
yeah. How are you?
I am so good, and I'm so excited about the Homestead Festival. What gave you the idea for this?
Well, I don't know if you remember, Joey and I used to do some music festivals at our farm that we called Beb and Buckle Fests. And we did them for about 5 years in a row, and they were fun. But I always wanted, you know, I've always wanted more, you know, I'm always that way. It's like, but why? I'm a big but why person. And so the idea of just having another music festival has not really interested me. But then, as like I heard you mention a few minutes ago, that if 2020 and COVID and all this stuff, the pandemic hasn't made you want to simplify your life, it's probably not going to happen. And I think in my life, it gave me the opportunity and my family the opportunity to simplify more than we had. And we had already simplified a lot. It made my two sisters who live on both sides of the farm and their families and their children. So from there, we just thought it would be nice if we could have a music festival that's a lot more than a music festival. And that's kind of where this came from.
Well, I just love it. Well, let's talk about the music first. I mean, okay, everybody wants to know Kevin Costner is coming in for this. Kevin Costner, like the get of all gets when it comes, has the hottest show on television. Kevin Costner, Modern West. I love their music, and they're coming to the festival.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how other people do music festivals, but this is how I thought we could do ours. Who do I want to see? Who would I like to meet? Who would you like to have come to the Homestead Festival? And he was on the top of the list for lots of reasons. And I didn't think it would be possible, but it turns out it is. And we're less than a month away, and I'd like to think that he's as excited as we are, but I don't know that he is, but we are very excited he's coming.
I will tell you, I bet he is, because what you're doing is right in that's right in line with what he's always done. Did you know that his brother has developed this wonderful thing to clean the oceans?
No.
It's a way to clean the oceans and clean energy, and his brother's doing all these energy saving things to give us a cleaner planet. So he's already signed on for making the world a better place and simplifying. So I think this is perfect fit for him, and anywhere where he can play music.
Yeah, I think so. I think that the homesteading audience, people who are trying to simplify, maybe learn how to grow their own food and raise some animals and live a little bit better life. I'm going to guess a bunch of those folks are watching Yellowstone.
Oh, so, you're right on the money. Right on the money.
So anyway, it's fun. And plus we have the Isaacs are coming, and Jimmy Fortune, and the Brotherly Love Quartet will be there. And then I'm going to sing a few songs, and it should be a great time. The music should be fun in the evenings, but even more so during the day. We have Temple Grandin coming, which she's like the Kevin Costner of homesteading world. She's amazing.
Is.
Yeah.
An Oscar-winning movie that Hilary Swank made her character come to life. But it's fascinating. What she has to teach us about how to work our livestock is incredible.
Yeah, I like our teacher and a couple of people went and saw Temple. And I think that's how this happened, is they went and saw her in Alabama a few months ago. And when she came back, our teacher came back and said, I think Temple wants to name her talk "Video Games Are Stupid." So I was excited just because Temple doesn't have to dance around anything. She gets to talk about what she thinks is important. And I'm excited that she's going to come here and spend some time with us, along with Joel Salatin and a whole bunch of other wonderful, wonderful teachers.
I've been playing some of the videos that you have. And if you go to Rory Feek's YouTube channel, click the video link, and you will see a lot of the people coming. You create little epic videos of everybody who's coming. So I just want to thank you for that, because that got me excited even more, because agriculture and farming is my life. That's what I love. That's what I came from. And I've gone back to it. And, you've also started a festival vlog. Now, explain what that is, when you're going to be talking about your daily video links to things and telling the story about what's happening at the festival.
So a couple of years ago, I started making, this was during COVID, I started making vlogs, which are like a vlog. Well, I wrote a blog for a long time. So it's just me typing on a computer like this one, telling stories. And then the blog is stories in video form, and then the vlog is stories in video form from a farm. So we made about 30 or 35 of those, and they were a lot of fun. And then people have asked for a long time if we would make more. So we thought, why don't we make them festival vlogs? And so we've done 3 or 4 of them. Actually, when I leave here, I have to go home and get working on another one. And they're just stories kind of built around the festival. And they're just wonderful. You know, People have asked me, because I know you from the songwriting world from
Mhm.
years and years of all of that culture. And I think I stopped writing songs. I don't know about you, if you write songs anymore. I
Mhm.
stopped when Indiana was born, so it's been 8 years, but not really. Now I make songs differently. Now my songs are these little videos I make, things, they're little children's books, whatever it is that I happen to write. It could be a blog post. They're all songs to me. They just look different.
That is a beautiful way to explain it. That's a beauty. You're just telling stories. Just
Just
telling
telling
stories.
stories. Yeah.
Well, the homesteadfestival.com is how you get your tickets. It is in June. It's coming in June. Get your tickets now. Get them early. Find out about it. Follow everything by the Homestead Festival. And it's going to be incredible. I think about preserving your food. That's something that I use a lot on my Fridays. I try to get people to tell people how they can make their food dollar stretch. And a lot of that is knowing how to preserve your food that you've got. You've got people who are teaching that a little bit, aren't you?
We do. We have a couple of people that are going to be teaching food preservation here on our farm. We've kind of divided it up. We'll have to another time outside of here when we can visit. We'll have to talk. I'd love to hear more about. I'm so excited that you're back to the farm and back to your roots. But at our farm, we've also kind of divided up, and it's like if you want to do things well, you can't do it all by yourself. And so my sister Marcy, who runs the restaurant down the road, her job is when we grow all these vegetables, she helps us preserve it so it can last us all much longer. And the reason I'm telling you that is she doesn't have a history for it. My sister's history for homesteading is watching the Waltons and Little House on the Prairie and knowing and believing in her heart there's got to be a better way than how we're doing it. And so she's like the rest of us, watching YouTube videos and buying books and trying to figure out how do we preserve our food, spend a little less money in Kroger and a little more time at the house making dinners for our family. And it's fun. So there's going to be people there teaching that, which I think will be wonderful.
Well, I'm going to close with, do you remember how we met? I know we think it's songwriting, but it was actually a little bit before that.
Oh, I'm going to fail this one. I don't know. You can tell me.
I will tell you because I never forgot it because it was very special. I used to feed a lot of people over the holidays and stuff. And you were visiting with Big Kenny. And I think Big Kenny introduced us. And where he told everybody, when you come to Devin's house, you bring your butter tubs because everybody took home, because I cook for an army. I cooked on a farm. So that's exactly how. And I had a lot of people who stopped by on I think it was like a Thanksgiving or whatever. And then a group of us went to see Tim McGraw for New Year's and watch the New Year come in. It was a whole bunch of it. It was Big Kenny and you and people. I can't even remember who all was in that group. I had to host. And so the radio station gave me a limo. And so we all piled in and went. And when the New Year came in, what impressed me most about you, Rory Feek, is you said, I got to step out for a minute. My baby girls, I got to go wish them a happy New Year. So everybody was celebrating, but Daddy was calling his girls to wish him a happy New Year. And that's who you are, Rory Feek.
Well, thank you. Thank you. I do remember that. I wasn't sure that was the first time we met, but that makes sense because Big Kenny did bring me over to your house and you fed me and everyone else really well.
And that's why homesteading is so important, because the family table, kids are richer for it. They learn more, their grades are better, and their lives are enriched if you could just get back to a family table. And that's what the Homestead Festival is all about. Coming up, it's June
3rd and 4th.
Yeah, okay. I thought I had that in my mind. I have so many dates in my head, but the homesteadfestival.com will give you all the information. I love you more than lunch and jewelry, my friend. Thank you for your time today.
Love you too. Thank you for having me.
All right. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
A big thank you to our friends at Farm Credit. They are doing some amazing, amazing things. If you want to get back to your roots and you want to find out a little bit more about what's going on, and you think, I'd like to get a farm. I just don't have all the things to get started. Well, Farm Credit is the place where I send everybody. So they can help you get the farm, the implements, the cows. Maybe you even need a tiller. They're the people to call.
For a century, Farm Credit has been supporting rural communities and agriculture with reliable, consistent credit and financial services. But do you know why Farm Credit was created? Rural enterprises and agriculture are essential, yet volatile. Farm Credit was created to help rural communities from coast to coast weather financial ups and downs. Our access to financial resources and cooperative structure have allowed us to remain strong through bad and good times.
Thanks.
Farm Credit supports the diverse financial needs of farmers, ranchers, and rural businesses. We also help rural communities thrive by financing vital infrastructure and communication services. That steady flow of credit means more jobs, more economic growth, and more investment in rural America. Today's beginning farmers are the backbone of tomorrow's rural communities. That's why Farm Credit actively supports youth leadership programs like 4-H and the FFA and makes an average of 60,000 loans to beginning farmers each year. As a network of cooperatives, each locally owned by our borrowers, Farm Credit profits are returned directly to our customers, which helps strengthen the rural economy. Our mission has always been to support rural communities and agriculture, making America strong, today and tomorrow. Visit farmcredit.com to learn more.
Justin, we've got so many people who are weighing in today. I'm telling you, people love Rory. They love him as I do.
Right. Such a great guy.
Alicia said Rory, I think it's a little typo there. Rory is amazing, and Joey was simply the best. Absolutely. And love what he stands for. Linda, who is in Arkansas, and she's weighing in as well. So many people. Dr. Grandin is the bomb. Leslie, North Carolina. Temple Story is so amazing.
Nothing about my plant, though.
Nobody's
not yet. Okay.
Nobody's talking about your plant just yet.
No, they're all thinking it, though.
Yeah, they're thinking. What is her name?
What's that?
You haven't named your plant?
Oh, it's I let her come up with her own. I don't want to give her any kind of labels or anything. She's
Alicia says, I live in town, but I'm about to do Indian planting. 1 row of corn around the backyard, fence with limas planted against that, and using those corn stalks as runners. Well, isn't that smart?
I don't know that sentence at all.
I don't know about that either. I can't wait. Heather Houston says, I can't wait to see Temple Grandin. So excited for this event. Yes. And I love Marcy Joe's Cafe. Yes. A lot of people jumping in there. Well, we'll hear more from you guys. You can always weigh in with your comments. Don't forget homesteadfestival.com. Our friends at Farm Credit are joining us today, and we're telling their story, but we have been talking about the big payback all month long. And yesterday they did the total. Look at this total.
That's crazy.
Isn't that great?
That is just a wild number.
3,960,365. If you want to continue giving to those organizations, you can just go to givingmatters.com and continue to give. But it was one of the biggest 24 hours of giving. It's always the biggest day of giving.
That was only in 24 hours.
24 hours. We have people who are very, very, very good.
No kidding.
So
that's amazing. That just warms me.
I know.
3 million in one day? Or
yeah.
Almost 4 million?
Almost 4 million. And you looked at the tote board and it kept going. Oh, I just absolutely love it. Well, I thought that we would play. There was a little video that I put together at my house, but we're going to hold that off. That might be on Monday.
Okay.
But I want to play an interview with Farm Credit. We checked in with Amy, and she's from the Murfreesboro office of Farm Credit.
Got it.
I wanted to know what they did, but if you've got students in FFA, if you've got kids in 4-H, you want to know about the people at Farm Credit. More and more people are moving to rural America. They are looking to start their farming dream. And we're going to go to Murfreesboro to the offices of Farm Credit. Farm Credit Mid-America supports dreams when it comes to agriculture, don't they, Amy?
Yes, we certainly do. There's nothing more dear to our hearts than taking care of our farmers.
You know, when people describe a farmer, what is the definition in your head to a farmer? Because we think a farmer as a little hobby farm kind of that grows some peas and some beans and some corn and maybe a pig or two. But what is a farmer really? What's the definition of farming today?
Well, a farmer specifically is someone who is producing a product that can be used for food or fiber. And so that can be anywhere from somebody who just wants to have some backyard chickens to a person who may be row cropping 5,000 acres or milking 2,000 cows.
Well, that's a pretty broad example of what you guys do at Farm Credit when you help fund a farmer's dream. Let's say they come to you. What are some of the examples of people that have walked through your door at Farm Credit? Some of the different kinds of projects that you've helped fund.
Well, that's the fun part about being in Murfreesboro, because we do have Rutherford and Cannon counties that are still relatively rural, but we're right in suburban Nashville. So we have a lot of interesting ideas that have come through the doors. Recently, we have helped to fund an equine operation where they are providing boarding opportunities and specifically targeting folks that are traveling from north to south, whether it be race horses or show horses or just people who are traveling with pleasure rides and wanting to ride at different parks along the East Coast. Mm-hmm. So they've set up an operation where people can stop in, board their horses overnight. They're going to have showering facilities so that while people are staying in their horse trailers, they can shower there in their place, wash their clothes, get their horses off the trailers and bathe them and be able to feed them and let them overnight so they can rest before they get back on the road and continue their journey. So that's one of the cool ones that we've done. We also have financed an operation where we have someone who is growing organic fruits and vegetables, and they not only provide them to a farmer's market, but they also let people come out and harvest those themselves. And they're doing some children's camps for education. So you can sign your kids up in the summertime for a week-long program to learn how to raise their own food or how to be a sort of a farmer for a week.
That's just incredible. And that is around Murfreesboro. And like you said, there are farmlands available still that, but I will say that if you've ever wanted to get a farm, now's the time to start heading out, because farmland is at a premium now. After the last 2 years, more and more people are going back to the land, aren't they?
They certainly are. That's one of the things that we've seen from the effects of COVID, that people realize that they could slow down and do less activities, in public settings and big social settings, and they could actually go back and be outdoors and grow their own gardens and sit back and relax. I think it's slowed down the pace of our lives quite a bit.
You do a lot to help school kids too, with Future Farmers of America and working with kids in 4-H. It is a beautiful program for any kid of any age to get involved in one of those programs, but you're involved in both.
Yes, we certainly are. And I came to Farm Credit after 24 years of teaching high school agriculture and being an FFA advisor. So I definitely have a passion still for my young people. There's nothing that makes me happier than to get some of our young farmers signed up in our Growing Forward program, which gives them some educational courses to help them work with their finances. It also sets a little different standard to help them get into production agriculture. So if they don't have a lot of assets and resources and they're trying to go out and buy their first farm and just start their farming operation, we spend some time trying to educate them on how to make good financial decisions as well as funding their projects. We give back to our FFA and 4-H programs. It was really cool this year. We were able to support 3,500 FFA members in getting their state FFA degree. We also highly support a lot of the programs and awards that go through with FFA, and then the same thing with 4-H as well.
If somebody wanted to reach out to you and they want to get farmland and they want to start and they have fallen in love with the area around Murfreesboro, how do they get in touch with you, Amy?
Well, they can, obviously we have an online platform, so e-farmcredit.com. I'm located in the Murfreesboro office, so you can Google search the Murfreesboro office, and I give people my cell phone number. I've been a farmer my whole life, and I've had dairy cattle, so I've milked cows and had a public job. And I realized that for most farmers, the 9 to 5, 8 to 4:30 that we're open doesn't always fit their schedule for needing to talk to somebody. So I let people call me on my cell phone, and I'll answer on the weekends or after business hours and try to walk them through it. So my cell number is 615-203-4782. So I give that out. That's another opportunity.
That is brilliant. I just love that you do that. And because you're right, bankers hours and farmers hours they don't even cross paths, because the farmer's work is never done. I mean, there's sometimes I'm still feeding at midnight. I'm still trying to get it done.
I understand. My husband and I laugh and say our date nights are normally spent. This past weekend, we spent Saturday evening wrapping wheat before it was going to rain. So we finished up about 10:30 Saturday night and had nice bologna sandwiches when we got home.
And it tastes real good because you worked a long, hard day.
They were delicious because all I really needed at that point was a shower and a bed.
That's right. That is absolutely right. Well, if people want to get farmland and get started, whether you want just a little plot of land, little piece of land, or whether you're looking at, do you help with farm, other than farmland, do you help with farming implements? Like,
Yes.
I priced tractors the other day. I was just looking at tractors. Even a used tractor is like the price of a house.
Yes. So it seems like the older model tractors now are even more popular than the newer ones, because we have so many people in that 40 to 60 range that can still work on the tractors that don't have the electronics on them. So we finance anything agriculture, from land and real estate to any type of equipment, livestock. We do lines of credit. And then for our farmers who are generating a gross farm income, we also have parameters where we can finance some non-ag opportunities. So, for example, we have one of our customers that we finance some storage buildings for. We financed a car wash. So since if they generate enough income to meet our parameters, then we can do those opportunities too, because a lot of our farmers like to diversify and have other businesses as well.
Well, I know that around Murfreesboro, I started looking at some of the farming opportunities that were around there. People are getting really creative, from alpaca farms to, I mean, they're growing all sorts of vegetables that I don't even know the names of some of them.
Yes.
And of course, CBD, that industry has gotten so exciting for a lot of people that people are growing hemp like crazy. So there's so many opportunities for agriculture, but the number one name that should come up for everybody is farm credit.
Yes.
We thank you so much for your time, Amy.
Well, thank you. I've enjoyed this time.
I loved getting to meet her, and I love that she's an actual farmer. If you want to have anybody find your farm and help you get started, don't go to someone who's never been a farmer.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Don't come to me and say, hey, how do you?
Hey, but I will tell you what Justin can send you to. We both experienced firsthand night visions at the Nashville Zoo, didn't we?
Yeah.
And man, if you come to Nashville to visit, you better go to the Nashville Zoo. My favorite part is the Flamingo Lagoon, or whatever they called it.
No, it's crazy because, you look at the commercial and you're like, special effects for sure. It looks like that.
That's what it looks like.
It literally looks like that.
Okay, so date night, would you suggest it?
Yes, absolutely. Just don't get lost like I did.
Just don't get lost. Yeah, we both experienced getting lost in the Nashville Zoo. It's easy to get found though, because it is dark, but they have a lot of people that can help you, and they helped us.
Sorry.
You and I are not gifted in directions.
No. It's like you send us to a fork, we'll probably go through the fork, take a left, then we're out of bounds. No one knows where we're at. We don't know.
We are directionally challenged, both of us, to find it for us to
a big
even
balloon, like just to hold with us.
That's what we need. We need to follow the balloon lady.
Yes.
That knows where she's going. Hey, on Monday.
Figured out.
You actually did a story, and we're going to play that on Monday's show and we're going to tell you a little bit about the behind the scenes of what happens at Night Visions. Well, that's our show for today. I'm going to close with a song from the Flat River Band.
Cool.
Because it's their new single.
I love them. They're awesome.
And they're part of Taste of Nashville, our new show that we have just launched. Joe Dubin and I at the Omni, and our friends at Buddy Allen Carpet One. And they're on the episode 2.
Yes, the second one.
And by the way,
Go
do
ahead.
you remember Greg Pratt, who was on episode 1?
Absolutely. How could I forget Greg Pratt? He's the man.
I know he's the man. His new single just came out this week, so you can
So he's
find
got
it.
another new single.
Another new single.
Gotta listen to it.
Another new single, and radio is just loving it, loving it, loving it.
I bet they are. He's gonna blow up. I know, like crazy, because he just, you know what I'm saying. He has the look. He has the talent. I don't know. Just
Well,
people
let's talk
rowdy.
about the group that has the harmonies. We're going to close with their brand new single, the Flat River Band and the McCrary Sisters, Shining Through My Window. Be safe, everybody. This weather is awful.
But it's Friday.
But it's Friday. Go home. Kick your shoes off.
Netflix and chill.
Make yourself a mimosa and pretend you're at the beach.
Get 2 on us.
Oh, but remember, whatever you do this weekend, to remember that you are loved. We'll see you again on Monday. Bye, Justin. Good to have you back.
Hey, thanks.
Bye.
The sun is shining through my window. Everything seems to be okay. I got myself a good loving woman. She makes those dark clouds go away. Why does everyone wear sad faces? From where they stand, it's doom and gloom. Well, I thank God I got my baby. Well, I be feeling the way they do. The sun is shining through my window. Everything seems to be okay. I got myself a good loving woman. She makes those dark clouds go away. Thunderstorms simply disappear. Baby, you're the weatherman's biggest fear. God knows they never get it right. 'Cause everywhere you walk there, baby, the sun it shines so bright. The sun is shining through my window. Everything seems to be okay. I got myself a good loving woman. She makes those dark clouds go away. The sun is shining through my window. Everything seems to be okay. I got myself a good loving woman. She makes those dark clouds go away.
Nothing like the sunrise with your coffee in the morning, or taking a good book off the shelf. Another thing I love the most than being on my own is together with everybody else. Together, like a silent Sunday service. Together, on my front porch with my friends.